Project One, choosing my community. It's South Coast Children's Society. The South Coast Children's Society was started in 1984. They set out to take leadership role in filling a critical hole in the safety net of Southern California's many communities, providing shelter, care, therapy, and essential support services for those who are too often left behind, abused, neglected, and underprivileged children and youth, and struggling families. SCCS envisions a day in every community where we serve where every abandoned, disadvantaged, and troubled child can be healed and restored. A time when every child will have freedom, confidence, health, and societal support to become conscious of his or her true worth and to carry out their genuine potential. How does this learning environment compare to a traditional or formal learning environment? The learning environment for the volunteers is very different from the traditional learning environment. Traditionally, there would be a supervisor of some sort, someone who would give very clear instructions, and those had to be followed. In this structure of this volunteer community, it's the do what you can structure, and we'll follow up and finish what you couldn't do. And there's a network of non-specialists here. And what I mean is, when you get a family of 3 with their children to come help out, they're not skilled in a specific trade, whether it's gardening or painting, and they're not taught by a supervisor, but by members of the volunteer community. Those who knew how to shovel the right way, trim, hedge, pull weed, paint with rollers, paint with brushes, and so on, would help those who didn't know how to do these tasks. For some, this was their first time gardening, painting, so there weren't any instructions. There was no time to have a Home Depot moment. Just roll up your sleeves and start doing work. There's more than one way to garden, apparently. Some people come in and pull stuff out of the ground, while the more seasoned veterans use hoes and shovels to loosen the root and then pull the weeds up. That was a learning moment for the kids, might I add. The volunteers then had a aha moment where the adults just hoed and shoveled while the kids went ahead and picked up after the fact and after all the sediments were loose and all the weeds were loose. To me, this was beautiful, and they didn't need any instructions from any experts to understand that this was an all-around effort on behalf of all the volunteers. What learning theories seem to be at play and how the members of the community relate to each other? Seems to me behaviorism is at play, as well as a little bit of distributed cognition. People seem to learn from each other by asking or watching those who are more experienced, either as younger or older. Once the team got some sort of guidance from what the tasks were needed, the more experienced volunteers stepped in and showed the less experienced volunteers what to do and how to do it. Naturally, some volunteers weren't as experienced, but they learned by observing, and they also applied some problem solving and even ingenuity in utilizing certain tools in ways it wasn't designed to do. Something like using clippers and shovels for clearing shrubs and knocking down trees instead of digging holes. It amazed me just like it did in Vert Camp, where you were given a very simple instruction from a person, and then the teams would get together and divide up the tasks amongst each other. Those who were comfortable with gardening went to the backyard, while those who wanted to paint went inside to paint. Everyone seemed to work not because they were told to, but they wanted to for the sake of the children that they gave up the morning to help. Everyone there wanted to spend their time in order to see the children's faces light up when they come home. Somehow the volunteers understood and worked together what these efforts would mean to these children. In this slide, the adults are contemplating on what to do, and they're looking down on the ground seeing, well, what they probably need to do is to clear up some more space so that the kids and the children can come over and pick up some more branches for them. Here's a father and son combo. The father's holding the branch and the son's using the clippers there to make sure that the branches are cut to a smaller piece and more manageable piece. Here's a mother, daughter, and son. The son is getting really tired, as you can see. The daughter is putting away the trash bags to be thrown out. In this slide, we have the whole community at work. Everyone's picking up branches and leaves and clearing out the fence, and also clearing out near the side concrete wall there. This is the team that's painting in the front. We have one on the ladder, one standing there looking to see where he should attack, and we only have one ladder for the front, so that was the one that's being used. So once someone started to paint, someone else started coming in and picking up the brush, dipping their brush into some paint, and alongside each other, they're painting as a community of practice. How does one join the community? There are so many ways to join this community, but you can formally be involved in South Coast Children's Society as an employee. You can go to their online site and apply, or you can be part of the community as a lifelong volunteer, someone who gives back to the children when they have spare time. There will always be a need for people who cares for those who are in need and those who have been abandoned by their loved ones or supposed loved ones. There are no age restrictions. You can just go to their site or go to their central office and offer and volunteer your time.